Hello, this is Shar from The Real Kitchen for Real People. Today I'm just going to show you how to cut up a fryer chicken that's whole. I know you can buy the pieces and some people go to the butcher and have it cut up for them, but sometimes you might want to just learn how to cut it up yourself. This is how my mom and grandmother taught me how to cut up. Sometimes I want to cut it up myself. Don't ask me why, but it seems to taste better. But I'm going to show you how that is done. First, you get you a large bowl and place it in the sink and fill it up with water to cover your chicken. And then you're going to add your 2 tablespoons of salt. It's covered. You're going to add 2 tablespoons of salt in the water. Okay? And then you're going to let that sit for about 15 minutes. And I'll show you what's next. Now that I've let my chicken kind of soak for 15 minutes, you can see how the water churns. It draws, that salt draws all of that old nasty liquids in your chicken out. And this is something my dad he would just talk about all the time. Just make sure you clean your meat. Okay, so first I'm gonna cut the legs, and you cut them right in that little area right there. You cut that first. You take your knife and a sharp knife, and be careful, and then you cut that through. Okay. When you finish, cut it all the way through. You'll get your leg and your thigh, like this. There's your thigh. And if you're baking chicken, you kind of want to keep some of your skin on. Normally, I take skin off because I don't usually use it. But if you're baking it, it keeps your meat moist and tender until it's done, and then you can take it off if you want. But this is how your leg and thigh would look. Now, what I'm going to do with this thigh is clean it, because it's got a lot of fat underneath there that I do not desire. So I'm going to clean that off. See all that fat under there? I don't like. So I pull that off and put it over here in a bag to be tossed when I'm finished. So I get all that off. Okay. And then I put it back in the water so it can be soaking some more. Make sure it's clean. Because even when you get your chicken from the deli, you still need to clean it. I know some people don't think they need to, but you always need to clean your chicken, and really clean everything. But you can't clean the hamburger meat, but you clean all your other meats. Okay? So I'm gonna take this other leg off. And you kind of have a little gap down in here, right in there. And you just take your knife and cut it all the way through. Okay. And you come up with this. And sometimes it has little hairs on there. I don't like. So you just clean it real good. Now all the pieces I won't do with skin if I'm baking it. Just some of them. And the rest of them are just to give it that rich taste. You want to leave some of the fat on your chicken. And some people use the entire fat on the skin. They leave it on regardless if they're baking it or not. This is the way I do it. Okay, and you can see how it looks, and you can look under that skin. You won't have no surprises if you pull it back. Just clean it. And you can see that water is dirty. My father used to always say, when you go out and eat, be sure to get fried chicken, because if you hit that hot grease, it's going to kill everything. I mean, he used to tell us that all the time. But you cut your part loose like that, and there's your leg and thigh that's skinless. Okay, you put it back in the water. Then you take your wing right here, and you want to cut it right in that joint right there. Of course, you hear my music playing in the background. I love to play music while I'm cooking. So I love the jazz. All kind of jazz, I like it. Okay, I'm going to clean all these little pieces off of this wing. Sometimes it has little pieces on there, the tips. So be sure to get it good. Just examine it real good and cut off what you don't like to see. It basically like that. Toss. Okay, that's your wing. That's your wing. Some people fold it like that. Drop it in there. And you're going to do your other side. This is kind of the tricky part here. This is your breast. All this is your breast. And this is your backs back here. So up at the top of where your tail is, you'll have this opening right here. See it? Like a mouth. And you take your knife and you want to cut straight down. Straight down all the way to the end. So you have to hold it really tight. I know it looks like a challenge, but you can get used to it, and before you know it, it's over. I have a friend that will not do it. She just can't stand the touch of it, but if you have to do it, you do it. And I had 4 kids growing up, so sometimes the fryer was a lot cheaper than those parts, so I just had to do what I had to do. And this is a big old breast, so I'm cleaning it off. So when you get that breast, it kind of looks like a heart, so you want to cut right in the middle of it, but don't get your hand. So watch your fingers when you cut, and you kind of have to pull a little bit, get it started. Okay. And then you just break it open. That's what I do. There's your 2 breasts. Now, I don't like my breast real thick like that, so I'm going to cut that down. Because you can, with 4 kids, raising 4 kids, we tried to make that dollar stretch. So a lot of times I would just cut this into several pieces, so you could have several pieces of the breast instead of that one big whole breast. So I would take out that bone like that. And it'll be open like this. And you take out that little bone that sticks out right there. I know it seems like a lot of work, don't it? And it is actually, but it's rewarding to me knowing that I cleaned it the way I want it to be cleaned. Okay, then you have these where you call them now, they call them chicken tenders now, but that's where they came from. This breast, the side of the breast. I'll drop that back in there. And then I'll just continue to clean this off, cutting all that extra fat off. Okay. Put it back in the water. Now this is that, let's see, is that the fat? Now these backs, what I use these backs for, around the holiday I save these. I clean them real good and put them in a sandwich bag, because you got to pull all that out, clean all out in there. You might not want chicken by the time you get to cleaning it, but you clean all that out from the inside, and then you can set these aside and put them in the freezer, or you can boil them now and have your chicken broth ready for the holiday. But they make excellent chicken broth. So I'll set those aside because I need to use those for the holiday coming up. Okay, now here's that other breast that has the bone in it. And I guess I'll cut it in two because it's kind of large, thick. I don't like thick meat. So I'm going to pull that apart and have that as one chicken breast. And my husband likes these bones, so I leave these bones on this and bake it. Stick that back in the water. And so now you just kind of shaking it around. Now this breast here, I'm going to keep it like this, I guess. But if I was going to fry it, I would cut it in half like this. That way you get 2 breasts out of this. Maybe 3 since I cut the other one, but like that. Okay. And you see how that water is so dirty. So what you do, so that's what you're eating if you don't wash your meat. And that salt helps to draw that dirty out of there. Okay, once you're done, you pour that out. And you can see here's your pieces in here, your breast, legs, wings, thigh. So I left the fat on the thigh because it's the most fatty area of the chicken. Then I'm going to run some more water in here. And I'm going to massage it down in the water. And then once you put it back in the water, you run it where the chicken is covered, and then you add 1 tablespoon of salt, and just let that sit for 15 minutes. Okay, here's my chicken. It's all clean, and I'll be ready to prepare it. So all you have to do from this point is season it how you want it, prepare it how you want it, fried, bake, boil, or broil, however you want it. Now you have a clean chicken, and you should do this with regardless if you have a whole chicken or not. Just make sure you clean your chicken very well. Get all the germs and old juices out of there that's been sitting in the store. Um, Also, clean your uh, sink out with warm water and a little Clorox, about a teaspoon of Clorox. Clean your sink out good, and clean your bowl that you washed it in with Clorox and soap water. You get any bacteria or anything that's built up will be out of your sink and out of the bowl for the next time. So this is how you cut up and clean a whole fryer. So I hope this helps you. Whether you use it or not, you'll know how to do it. Thank you for viewing. I'll talk to you later. Be sure to subscribe or comment on this, and let me know if there's any questions you have. I'm getting ready to prepare it, so I'll see you later. Love, love.